Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Galaxy Trucker. In Galaxy Trucker, we are truckers. We first need to build our spaceship out of parts that we found at the dump. These are the parts. Once our spaceships are built, we then travel across the galaxy looking for goods to pick up and deliver to our final destination. The winner of the game is the trucker who has managed to make the most amount of money, or space bucks. So the game has 3 different ships or different journeys that we're going to go on. Each journey is broken into 2 parts. Firstly is the building phase, and secondly is the scoring phase. In this video, I'll just talk about the building phase. Because that's the important one for starter players. In order to build your ship, you start with this centerpiece. Everyone has that same centerpiece, and we build outwards. Everything must connect to that centerpiece or another piece that connects to it. You can't just build a piece out on this corner and then hope to build out to it. Everything comes from the center. The way in which we build is we lift up one piece, have a look at it. If we want to build it on our ship, then we place it somewhere on our ship that connects, and then move on and grab another piece. If we decide we don't want that piece, before we've looked at another one, we can put it off to the side. If, however, we decide, yes, I really want that piece, but not in any of the spaces I can build in at the moment, you're allowed to save it there for later. No one is allowed to grab any pieces you've put up here. Anything that's on the table is fair game for any player to grab. You can only keep a maximum of 2 pieces up here, in this spot, one there and one in the spot next to it. The only way to get pieces out from up here is to actually build them into your ship. The rules on building your ship are that the connectors, if there's a single connector coming off the side, it must also connect to a single connector. If there is a double connector coming off the side, it must connect to a double connector. Then there are the universal connectors, which all the sides on your starting piece have. Universal connectors can connect to either the double, the single, or a universal. So, what are each of these little pieces? What do they mean? What do they do? In order for your ship to run, you must have astronauts on there. In order for the astronauts to be on your ship, you need to have pods for them to live in. Your starting piece is a pod for astronauts. This is what the other pods look like. Once you've got astronauts in there, you're also going to need to have space for your cargo. Cargo spaces look like this. This piece will hold 2 cargo. This piece will hold 3. There are also the pink ones. They hold the red pieces of cargo. Red cargo is worth 4 space bucks. The other 3 colors are worth less than that. So that's the ones that hold the expensive cargoes. You can't hold the red cargo unless you've got these. But if you've got these, you can use these to hold other types of cargo if you can't pick up a red piece of cargo. Or this card will hold 2 red pieces of cargo. In order to keep your ship moving across the galaxy, you're going to need rockets. Rockets, when they're placed on your ship, must be placed facing backwards or towards you, so that they face this way, so the ship will travel that direction. They must also have a blank space behind them. You could theoretically build your rocket here, but you wouldn't be able to build anything in that space just there. Other than the connectors being wrong, that is a legal way for you to build your ship. As long as there's at least 1 gap behind your rocket, it's okay. You may come up against pirates or smugglers within your travels, or you may come up against some meteors. In order to protect your ship from those particular cards, you're going to need this guy, the lasers or cannons. They can face any direction. At various points you will be called on to count up your cannon strength, also your rocket strength, but we won't worry about that at the moment. When you're adding up your cannon strength, any cannons facing forwards are worth 1. Any cannons facing towards the side or backwards are worth 1/2. The cannons have the same building restrictions on them as the rockets do, that you can't build anything directly in front of it. So if that is where I placed my cannon, I cannot build one here. I can, however, build one there. Over and above the rockets and cannons, there are also double rockets and double cannons. If you wish to use either of the double rockets or cannons within a count up, they will count for 2, but they will also cost you a battery. Batteries look like this. They look like a pair of double A's. Having that card allows you to have 2 battery tokens for your journey. And once you finish your ship, you'll place those 2 on there. They will track how many of your batteries you have used through your particular journey. There are also cards that have 3 batteries. Other things that use batteries that will be useful to you are these ones. These are shields. So if you get hit by some small cannon fire or by some small meteors, these can protect your ship. They protect from 2 angles. The 2 sides of the card where the green is facing will be protected once this is built into your ship. So if we build that one in there, in order to get your entire ship protected, you will need to build 2 of these. With just this one, I'm protecting the front and the left. With this one built in here as well, I'm protecting the back and the right hand side of my ships. That is all the pieces you're going to need to really worry about. There are 3 other pieces within this junkyard, and they are at the moment just considered as connectors. So these ones, which are the connectors, you can see all pipes going everywhere. So I could use one of these in here to connect that and that onto my ship. The other 2 pieces, which are to be regarded exactly the same as those connectors, are these pieces here. I'll talk about these pieces here in the next video, but at the moment just regard them as if they are this piece here. That is how to build your ship. Once your ship is built, we will populate it with 2 astronauts per pod that you have, and we will also populate the batteries with 1 token per cell that shows on each card. The other things to be aware of while you're building your ship is I haven't built an extraordinarily good ship there. Firstly, I haven't used all of my spaces. You don't have to, it's legal not to, but I could have done better by having those 2 spaces used. The other thing to be aware of is these pipes that are facing the outer side of the ship. If that gets hit by a small meteor, that piece will get exploded. There is also points at the end of the journey for the prettiest ship. That means the ship with the least of these open exposed connectors on it. The other thing to be aware of when you're building your ship is that if there's a black side on one card, it has to be met with a black side on the other card. You can't put a piece in like that. Ignore the connector. You can't put a piece in this way because it needs to actually connect to something. It can't connect to nothing. You're now ready for your first journey. If you wish to have a look at what a journey looks like, go on to the next video and I'll talk a little bit more about the rest of the game. Until next time, I hope you found this video valuable. Try and remember what each of those symbols means. The more you play it, the easier it is to recognize them and what they are. If you have any other games that you wish to be gamesplained, please send me an email on thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram to see what games I've been playing. Until next time, enjoy gaming.